On this episode of HellaVersus, we'll be putting two Slender characters from fiction head to head. On one end, a demon so bloodthirsty and hungry for power, he grew to the top of his hierarchy seemingly overnight. The radio demon himself, Alastor. On the other end, a creature first appearing on the internet, but becoming a cultural icon, with his slender appearance, pale face, and mysterious nature. The man with no face, the Slenderman. Who comes out on top of this battle between a demon and a creepypasta? Let's find out. And a quick disclaimer is that we'll be looking at the novelization version of Slenderman as shown in many different books rather than the game versions or even the 2018 movie version, since those versions don't have enough evidence for their feats, while the novelization has plenty to work with, but we'll be using the game version as reference. So, let's get into it. Alastor is one of the main characters in Hazbin Hotel. Formerly, he was a radio host and serial killer from New Orleans, Louisiana, before manifesting in hell as a result from a dog-related incident or possibly a shot to the head. Following his death and arriving in hell, he toppled over demons who ruled over hell for centuries seemingly overnight, boasting power never seen before in a mortal soul, becoming an overlord by technicality. During this period, he would broadcast his carnage through a radio for the populace to witness, earning himself the title of the radio demon.
As lazy as that is.
After these events, he would seemingly disappear for 7 years before appearing to help Charlie in her mission to rehabilitate sinners to heaven. And later in the show, it's revealed that he's on a leash as well, meaning that he himself is in a deal.
You may own my soul, but I ain't your fucking pet.
But you are.
Big talk for someone who's also on a leash.
What did you say? I'm hungry for freedom like never before. The constraints of my deal surely have a back door. Once I figure out how to unclip my wings.
There are plenty of theories speculating who Alastor is in a deal with here. Theories speculate that it's with Lilith, but this isn't confirmed yet. So, because of that, we'll just have to wait for Season 2 for answers or possibly more hints.
Yes, you're the one who ruined my coat. I definitely remember you now.
The Slenderman is the titular main antagonist of the Slender Mythos. It is an internet-born legend, an enigmatic entity described as a tall, thin figure with a featureless white face and tentacle-like appendages. It's often seen lurking in the background of photos, typically in wooded and dark environments, stalking people and manipulating small children to kidnap them, leaving no trace of their existence behind, although it's unclear why Slenderman kidnaps children and what his motivations are for. Is it for fun, or for something even deeper? Now that we've covered their backstories, let's get into the categories to find out who wins this fight. First up is strength. Alastor is said to have small town level of strength and possibly even higher, easily destroying Serpentius' airship with little to no effort. According to Vaggie, he has unimaginable power that no other demon in hell was able to obtain, but I'll let her explain it herself.
Decades ago, Alastor manifested in hell, seemingly overnight. He began to topple overlords who had been dominant for centuries. That kind of raw power had never been harnessed by a mortal soul before. Then, he broadcast his carnage all throughout hell, just so everyone could witness his ability. Sinners started calling him the Radio Demon. As lazy as that is. Many have speculated what unimaginable force enabled him to rival our world's most ancient and destructive evils. But one thing's for sure. He's an unpredictable source of danger, a wicked spirit of mystery, and a violent monster of chaos, the likes of which we can't risk getting involved with unless we want to end up erased. You done?
And during his fight with Adam, he was able to ragdoll him for a short period of their fight before Adam got the upper hand in the end. But this also goes to show that overlords can even rival angels like Adam for a while, and makes you wonder if other overlords have powers similar to Alastor. Slenderman, on the other hand, is said to have street level all the way up to multiversal strength. According to his Battlefield wiki, his strength varies depending on the story and how much he supplies. He can easily kill adults and children, but let's be honest, it's not that hard to kill someone. He was able to destroy a gravestone and make it explode just by throwing another person at it, and easily destroy trees. Slenderman is said to exist as a multiversal constant, whose existence is tied to that of the multiverse. It's said that he poses a threat to the entire multiverse and embodies an unknown multiverse of itself of infinite timelines. In the novel, it's stated that Slenderman's true self uses, quote, time that in ways we are currently unable to comprehend. So right off the bat, you guys can see why I chose the novel version of Slenderman, because the game versions don't necessarily have this exact information that the novel has. So because of this, Slenderman gets the first point, simply because of the fact that he embodies an entire multiverse, and also because of his strength varying depending on the story that he's in. Next up is speed. Alastor is said to have hypersonic speed, being one of the most powerful beings in all of Hell, possessing power that exceeds other demons, and debatably is in the same league as Stolas, meaning that he exceeds bullet timer demons, and was agile enough to dodge some of Adam's attacks with ease. Slenderman, on the other hand, is said to have peak human speed to omnipresent speed, since it's theorized to be that he's everywhere until he is locked on a specific target, which is why he seemingly teleports everywhere he wants until someone spots him from afar, and that his true self apparently exists everywhere in an abstract equation. So this one's an interesting case, because of Alastor's on-screen speed and agility, but Slenderman's omnipresent speed gives him the critical edge. Next is durability. Slenderman is said to have street level to multiversal durability, and this also depends on the amount of power his avatars have on them, being able to survive a black hole. Now granted, this black hole didn't have a definitive size, but it is said to be quark size, which, if you do quick research, is said to be about 2,000 times smaller than a proton, which would make it 2.4 trillion times smaller than a single grain of sand. So that might not seem like much, but it's still kind of impressive nonetheless. And it's stated that Slenderman has never been seen to get hurt before. Alastor is said to have small town durability and possibly higher, and this is also tacked on top of his immortality. As I've said in previous episodes, sinners like Alastor can only die from angelic metal or weaponry, which makes any other form of hurting other demons in hell useless to sinners like Alastor or anything else above the hierarchy. So this one's a close one. On the one end, someone capable of surviving black holes, and on the other end, then being able to survive means of any normal types of killing. So this one will be a draw. Before we go further into the video, I just want to make sure you guys are watching this video are subscribed to the channel, as only 7.9% of you guys watching are subscribed right now. So please change that and subscribe to the channel so we can hit 100,000 subs by the end of this year. And if we do reach this milestone, I'll give you guys a small little reward as a thank you in the form of a face reveal. So thanks again, and now back to the video. Next up is IQ. Alastor is a cunning and manipulative demon, being a serial killer during his time alive, able to play into his target's weaknesses as shown as he antagonized Serpentius, which sent him into a rage, and maintaining a charming and pleasant exterior in order to hide his malicious and tyrannical nature, as he explained to Charlie as to why he smiles all the time.
Just because you see a smile, don't think you know what's going on underneath. A smile is a valuable tool, my dear. It inspires your friends, keeps your enemies guessing, and ensures that no matter what comes your way, you're the one in control.
And either through sheer strength, intelligence, or a combination of both, he overthrew century-old overlords and rose to great infamy through hell, all in just one night. A testament to his true hidden abilities. Slenderman is similar to Alastor when it comes to intelligence, being a skilled manipulator and knowing about human psychology, causing great fear upon his victims. And it's said that Slenderman knows how to put fear into his victims by simply stalking them and staying perfectly still, letting the fear sink into his victims and allowing them to make irrational choices, which would make it easier for Slenderman to kill them. So both of them get the point here, simply because of both of their extreme smart manipulation skills, with Alastor playing into his victims' emotions, while Slenderman sends fear into those around him without doing anything, making this one yet another draw. Now here's an interesting one, attack methods. Which of the two has the better method of attacking? Slenderman's most famous method is the 8 pages. While it's not necessarily an attack method, it is still the most popular and famous method that he does. As seen in the original Slenderman games, he uses 8 pages to lure his victims, and the more pages you collect, the more he appears to kill you. Another thing that he does is what's called a mind assault, being able to assault his victims with several mental powers, such as paranoia, nightmares, and blindness. Alastor's main method of attacking is conjuring shadow tentacles from his back to grab, crush, and tear apart his opponents, similar to what he did with Adam during their fight, and with the random demons attacking the hotel. Shadow tentacles from his back. Wonder who that reminds me of. And he can even distract his opponents by summoning more tentacles or shadow minions to blindside them. So Alastor's main attack methods are physical, while Slenderman's method are mental. Honestly, either aren't necessarily a great way to go, so this will be yet another tie. But comment below which of these two methods is worse in your opinion. Now let's get to the fun stuff. Now is powers and abilities. Slenderman has teleportation, mind and fear manipulation, which is being able to alter the minds of those around him, causing immense fear and paranoia. Fire manipulation, or pyrokinesis, which is the ability to conjure fire, as he was shown able to burn down an entire library with a single flame. Alter a person's memories, able to create fog around his surroundings, and able to create sounds to mess with his victims, such as mimicking the sounds of children laughing, along with his mind assaults as stated earlier. Alastor has immunity to normal weapons and attacks, weapons mastery, soul rapture, threatening Husk to tear apart his soul.
Nothing,
If you ever say that again, I will tear your soul apart and broadcast your screams for every other disrespectful wretch who dares to question me.
Understood?
Lovely. Good talk, my good man. Always nice to catch up.
Soul manipulation, using the souls that he's collected to increase his powers. Possible reality warping, when he was able to fancy the entire staff of the Hazbin Hotel in the pilot and in the show, changing the scenery to a fancy ballroom for his musical number. Fire manipulation, being able to light a fireplace and create flames in the palm of his hand, which is basically just pyrokinesis, similar to Charlie. Darkness manipulation, creating shadow tentacles and shadow minions, capable of melting into shadows to get from one place to another, so basically just his form of teleportation. Being able to make a force field, size manipulation, and transformation. So both of them have a ton of abilities that could counter one another, with both of them having teleportation and fire manipulation, and Slenderman having the ability to manipulate almost everything around him, and Alastor able to create force fields, change his size, and changes to his demon form. So once again, this one ends in a draw. Finally, we have weaknesses. Slenderman's weakness is the fact that he enjoys torturing his victims for extended periods of times rather than instantly killing them, and allowing his victims to openly defy him. And another one of his weaknesses that he has is one that seems very obvious due to his appearance, that being his white head. If one were to attack his head, he would get severely injured and may even die because of this. Alastor's weakness is simply angelic weaponry. Yeah, that's it. No, I'm kidding, there's more. Another weakness of his is his cane, which is the main source of his power. Similar to what happened with Adam, if his cane were to be broken, he would be severely weakened due to the cane being the source of his powers. And one subtle weakness of his is his weird moral code when it comes to killing, being that he doesn't chase or follow his victims like other killers do. So both of them have weaknesses that could cause their death. Alastor's being his cane, and Slenderman's being his head. So for one last time, this one ends in a draw, since their weaknesses aren't necessarily obvious to their enemies. Now we've come to the conclusion of this episode. With all of this information gathered, with all their strength, speed, and abilities, the winner of this fight would be... Did I get you with that jump scare? I bet I did. Anyways, the main factors in Slenderman's victory are his speed, strength, and abilities. His strength could potentially overpower anything that Alastor could throw at him, even breaking his force field. With his ability to basically manipulate everything around him and his immeasurable speed, it would potentially be too much for the radio demon to handle. This isn't hate towards Alastor, but rather a statement that Alastor would lose to the famous CreepyPasta. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel and comment some of your guys' matchups that you want to see in a future video. And stay tuned because the next characters are going to be revealed for the future episode. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Oh, hello.
Ah, fuck me.
Subscribe, help me get a brick!